All right, so this weekend is going to be a huge one as the Miller Football League, after a 5-year hiatus, is finally back, and it's been an amazing season, guys. That's right. I'm joined by John Davis and Ken Nicolas. Of course, JD, my broadcast partner for this entire season of the MFL Game of the Week, only on KUAM TV and Local 2, and Ken, of course, is the league statistician. So, guys, I just want to get your comments on the big game. Of course, we're going to go through both playoff games. The number 1 seed, Cars Plus Rams, play the 4 seed, Docomo Chargers. Now, JD, even though the Chargers finished at 0-6 and everything, you actually are favoring the Chargers this weekend.
That's exactly right, Jace. You know, for the last several weeks, I've been saying this is their week, this is their week, this is their week, and they were so close, but just unable to pull out the W. And honestly, I think this week belongs to the Docomo Chargers. Lamau looks good. The offensive line is holding, and that defense, they can play.
All right, Ken, you've been tracking, both teams. Cars Plus has just gaudy stats, and I mean they're off the charts as far as production and everything like that. What do you see coming out of this weekend's game?
I like the Chargers a lot, but the one thing that they aren't consistent, and the Rams, if anything, are very, very consistent. Brad McCready has more than 1,000 yards passing. That's more than double the next closest guy, and he has a wide set of receivers who make a lot of catches. Eddie Cole leads the league in catches. The 2 running backs catch the ball very well, Dave Delgado, Kyle Rages, and Eddie Calvo. So I think the offense is just a little bit too much for the Chargers, and the Rams' defense is great. Leonard Lentz is a good linebacker, and the defensive line just really puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And Lamau just doesn't throw the ball really accurately. I mean, so
somebody's got to root for the underdogs.
All right, so really interesting contrast between your opinions, and of course the Cars Plus Rams have the number 1 scoring defense in the league. Those linebackers, like you said, Leonard Lentz, he was on our all KUAM team, which we'll show on KUAM.com. We got that coming up, so stay tuned for that. So their defense can really put some points on the board as well as on special teams. Yes. All right, guys, so that is the Saturday game. The Sunday game is, of course, the number 2 seed. That is the Shell House Angels. They are placing the number 3 seed in the league. That, of course, the Pepsi Warriors. That's going to be a really good game. They played last week, of course, in the final season, and it was the Warriors upsetting the Angels. The Angels haven't been playing their best ball of late, but, JD, back to you. Do you think this trend is going to continue?
I'm going to have to go with the Angels. You got to stick with, like what Ken said, consistency, right? And although the Angels have 2 losses this season, the one consistent thing that they have going for them is their coaching staff. Coach Sharoma going up against Coach Cruz, a typical JFK, FD, GW blend of coaching and things like that. And although I love GW and I love what the Warriors defense is doing and how powerful their offense is, I'm just going to have to go with the Angels. They might take this team to heaven come next week.
All right. Well, of course, we got to give it up for my former Simon Sanchez Shark. So Alan Bland, Ozzie Sylvia, and Chucky Atta and everything. You guys are doing great on defense. So, Ken, again, from a number standpoint and everything, how do the Angels match up against the Warriors this time around?
Both games between the Angels and the Warriors were very close games, I think decided by less than in both games, the strengths of each team weren't really prevalent. If you look at SP Phillips, he's had his worst stats, against the Warriors because, that defensive line or that defensive unit, Ryan Rios and whatnot. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on him, forced him to make bad decisions throwing. But at the same token, Hosea Ware, Robert Washington, Thaddeus Marlborough, they really haven't gotten off in those games versus the Angels with the rushing game. But I'm going to go with the Warriors on this one. I think especially with that last game, because you're looking at an Angels team that's very bruised and battered. A lot of people are injured and hurt. Gotcha. And, I mean, they have a great defensive secondary. Ryan Bigler leads the league in interceptions and whatnot. But I think it'll be another close game, but Pepsi's going to come up on top, 14-7.
All right. A repeat of last week's game. Hey, interesting. I wish both teams could win. They're both that good.
All right, all teams are exceptional. And, of course, we'll make sure to see you at the playoffs because there's nothing like watching the MFL action live and in person. So make sure to come out and join us. JD and I will be there as well as Ken taking numbers at the University of Guam Field in Mingilao right behind the field house. That's at 2:30 promptly. Kickoff starts then. It's fun for the whole family. So come on out and check out MFL playoff football. We'll see you then.